We're joined by Frankie, Corrado, and Jamie McLennan. And guys, Connor Bedard won the Calder Trophy last year with 61 points in 68 games. It was a really good season, but Noodles, he was hyped as the next generational player. So what are you looking to see in year two for Bedard to stay on that path?
Just growth as a player. Now, what I mean by that is he's going to get points. Just if he's healthy, he's going to score goals. He's going to get points. Now, the Chicago Blackhawks have helped him, are going to be able to help him to do that because they surrounded him with better players in the offseason. You're going to have a healthy Taylor Hall who's going to slide back into the lineup. You've got Mikheyev. You've got Teravainen. So you've got some players that are going to add to the depth of the group. So Taylor Hall is going to help, like I mentioned, but Connor Bedard is going to have NHL players passing him the pucks. That helps. Now, the one thing I think the growth of Connor Bedard is going to be more about his play away from the puck. That's the biggest challenge for him. He's so good with the puck, but in the National Hockey League, young players get exposed away from the puck. That'll be the biggest challenge. The second time around, he knows the league, so he'll be a lot better at it.
Growth for sure has to be a part of the agenda, and reasonable growth at that, Jamie and Sarah. So what does that look like? Why not aim for a point per game? If you're going to be an 82-game player or an 80-game player, let's aim for 80-plus points. 85 points is very much in the realm of possibility for Connor Bedard because of the added help, like Jamie mentioned, around him this season. It's not going to be like Sidney Crosby and Connor McDavid had it, where Crosby had Evgeny Malkin and Connor McDavid had Leon Draisaitl, and both those teams, the Penguins and the Oilers, were going to the playoffs in their second seasons. It's different in Chicago. He doesn't have those types of wingmen. He doesn't have a team going to the playoffs. So reasonable growth around a point per game, pushing up on 85, 90 points, that's very attainable for Connor Bedard in season two.
And another big question mark for Bedard this season will be, can he make Team Canada? The Four Nations face-off is in February. Frankie, do you think he earns his way onto the team?
I do, Sarah. There's just something about Connor Bedard where he's been so good in all these Hockey Canada events. It's going to be a best-on-best situation. And as he's played these best-on-best situations, whether it's at the under-18s, the World Juniors, he's always fared so well. And as Hockey Canada looks to remain in best-on-best competition, there does have to be some kind of element of we're bringing players along. And Connor Bedard, at some point with Connor McDavid, they're going to lead the charge. So I think it would be smart for Team Canada to have Connor Bedard, as long as he holds up his end of the bargain, which I'm sure he will this season, to have him on that team.
Frankie, you just mentioned it, his end of the bargain. And I'll go back to my first statement where he needs to learn to play away from the puck. These generational talented players have had the puck their whole life. So the minute that they don't have it, especially at the National Hockey League level, when you're playing against guys who are bigger, stronger, we'll call them men, the bottom line is you've got to find a way to get that puck back or be responsible in your own zone. That will be the focus for me, because we know he'll be a point producer. We know he'll be able to hold his own with the best on best, because he is going to be one if he's not already. But can he play the type of game that Team Canada will want to play in best on best? That's how he'll make the team. If he shows growth with that early on in the season, I think he's a lock to make the team. If he doesn't, if he struggles with it, they might put him on there, but he might be a guy on the outside looking in that as he continues to grow with his work away from the puck.
So his chances are pretty good. And one thing we know for sure, Bedard is a megastar when it comes to the fans. FanDuel has odds on who will have the highest selling jersey this season. Bedard, he's the favorite at +155.